I will now call the July 18th, 2016 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. We have a young man from Troop 603 at the First Christian Church with us that we're going to have him come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance after we stand and have a moment of silence. Yeah, and I will let you know when to start. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated, and thank you for coming and leading us in the pledge. Next, we have the consent agenda. Are there items that need to be pulled? If not, I accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
The roll call, please.
Councilman Quibell?
Aye.
Councilman Lebesay?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
We have 3 public hearings this evening. First public hearing is amendment to CDBG Annual Action Plan. Who's going to handle that?
I'll
Gonna
do the
make yours?
introduction. Do we want to open them
Are we gonna
concurrently?
Run them all together?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, we're going to run them all together?
Yes.
Okay, also, we'll do the public hearing on amendment to CDBG Citizens Participation Plan, as well as the PUD. We're just going to do the 2.
Just the 2.
Okay. We're going to do the first 2 together.
Okay. Mayor, the city has the following exhibits to enter the record for the substantial amendments to the 2015-16 Community Development Block Grant Annual Action Plan. The city has City Council information form with attachments, affidavit of publication for public hearing in the Examiner on May 7, 2016, and proposed resolution with substantial amendments to the 2015-16 Annual Action Plan attached as Exhibit A, and exhibits for the public hearing for the amendment to the Community Development Block Grant Citizen Participation Plan. The city has the City Council information form with attachments, affidavit of publication for public hearing in the Examiner on May 7th, 2016, and proposed resolution with amended Citizen Participation Plan, July 2016, attached as Exhibit A. This is all we have to offer for the record.
Okay, on behalf of the city, the young man, is that Matt?
Yes.
Okay. You're up.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you this evening are 2 requests. The first request is for substantial amendments to the 2015-2016 Annual Action Plan. The first amendment is to reallocate $25,000 from Summit Street Sidewalk Project to administration costs. The $25,000 in administration will provide funds for the city's portion of the development costs associated with the Regional Assessment of Fair Housing and other administration costs performed by staff. The second amendment is to split the $20,000 currently in the Downtown Facade Grant Program into 2 categories. $10,000 will go for low mod income area benefit and $10,000 for slum and blight. The purpose for this split is to allow commercial businesses that may not provide a direct benefit to low mod income clientele an opportunity to utilize the funds for facade improvements. The slum and blight category will allow them to do so, as any facade improvement is a benefit to the surrounding neighborhood. The CDBG Advisory Committee recommended approval of substantial amendments at their May 24th, 2016 public hearing, and no comments have been received during the public comment period. The second request is for amendments to the Citizen Participation Plan. These items amended include the addition of the public participation process for approving the Annual Action Plan, process of approving substantial amendments to the Annual Action Plan, process of developing and approving the Assessment of Fair Housing, and general formatting updates. The primary reason for amending the Citizen Participation Plan is to allow staff to continue moving forward with the public participation process for the Assessment of Fair Housing. The CDBG Advisory Committee recommended approval of the amendments to the Citizen Participation Plan at their May 24, 2016 public hearing. No comments have been received during the public comment period, and staff recommends approval of both items. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions of the council? Comments? Seeing none, we'll go to the public. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in support of? In support of? In opposition to? Opposition to? We'll close this public hearing. Since these are resolutions, we don't need an introduction. All we need is a motion for approval of the first one, a resolution number 34, 2016.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries. Next, we'll have a motion on resolution 35-2016.
I'll make that motion also, Your Honor.
Okay, second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Same sign, motion carries. That'll take us now to the next public hearing, the PUD concept plan for Quick Trip.
Mayor, the city has a following exhibit to enter into the record. Amended plan for the amended plan, unit development concept plan for Oaks at Woods Chapel. City Council information form with attachments, Planning Commission staff report with attachments, site location map, aerial location map, plat maps, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on June 11, 2016, application with attachments, proof of ownership, Title IV Land Use Section, Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference, and 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference, and the proposed ordinance. This is all we have to offer for the record.
Okay, Ms. Allen, on behalf of the city.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, and members of the council. Again, before you this evening is a request from Quick Trip to amend the PUD concept plan that currently exists for Oaks at Woods Chapel, the project located at 1301 and 1205 Northwest Woods Chapel Road, in order to allow the construction of a new Quick Trip building. They are requesting this amendment to allow this construction of 24-pump gas station with just over 5,800 square foot building. This would take the place of approximately 6,800 square foot restaurant on Lot 3. They also plan to increase the size of Lot 3, which would subsequently reduce the size of Lot 2. And I can show a map here in just a moment. This will only affect driveway access, Lot 3. So they're going through the final plat process as well, which will effectively reflect this change as I just noted. As I pull up the drawing here, I should note as well, as you know, this is also, or you may know, this is related to the existing Quick Trip on the east side of Woods Chapel, the northeast corner of Woods Chapel and Kings Ridge in Valley View. The applicant is working through the details for modifying the existing TIF to allow this move from the current location to the proposed location. So that is a separate issue that is being worked on by the applicant as we speak. So just a moment here.
Okay.
Let's show the quick aerial of the entire site. Just a moment. It's probably the cleanest drawing here. You can see the orientation here is 90 degrees from north, so north is to your right as you look at this drawing. The existing South Outer Road that was recently reconfigured with the Woods Chapel Road overpass. An expansion is on your right here on the north side of the site. And then 39th Street, which is the kind of north-south street through the project, through the PUD itself, is on the west side, the back side of the proposed Quick Trip. The lot lines don't show up very clearly here, but on the south side is essentially where the lot line is being adjusted between lots 3 and 2. So that reference that you read about in there is in relation to that adjustment. Again, that will be formally adjusted through the final plat, but is being adjusted through this PUD concept plan as well. You can see the different access points. There are 3 access points, one at the southwest corner of the project, one at the north side along South Outer Road, which is going to be kind of the main in and out up to the light, and then a right in, right out at Woods Chapel itself. So you can see kind of a pass through here, and then also connection will be included to Lot 2 at the south side as the project develops, as any project develops on the Lot 2 to the south there. So with that, again, this went before Planning Commission back on June 27th. They have recommended approval with 11 conditions. It was unanimous recommendation, 8-0. And certainly stand for any questions. I know the applicant is here as well. They can give a presentation as well.
Ms. Allen, so there are 2 lots between this proposed site and the CVS?
There's only one.
Only one.
Lot 1 to the is CVS.
Right.
Then Lot 2 would be vacant between CVS and Quick Trip.
Okay, gotcha.
And so their proposed Lot 3. Mentioning Lot 2 only because the kind of northern edge of Lot 2 is being incorporated into their project. So they'll have to essentially modify both lots, but really shrink Lot 2, grow Lot 3.
Any other comments or questions, Councilman Carter?
Do we know what they plan to do with the building on the east side?
I do not know, and I don't believe they've indicated anything specific, but I'll defer to the applicant.
That certainly was another question I had. Since I've lived in Blue Springs, I started out over in Kings Ridge. This will be the 4th Quick Trip on Woods Chapel Road, for those that don't know that. It started on the east side, then it went to the west side, then it went back to the east side. Now they're going back to the west side, to Woods Chapel. So this just shows you how long I've been around here. Councilman Fowler.
Yes, Your Honor. So Quick Trip is relocating from one side of the road to the other, moving a little bit north. I guess relative to the TIF, you mentioned a restaurant. That's not a current restaurant. That is one that has been proposed as part of a TIF.
Correct.
And this would take that location.
That's correct.
Okay. And there's the old location where the old Quick Trip was is not in the TIF district.
That's correct.
So this could just impact the available revenue for the TIF then. I guess there's nothing there now, so this will bring in more than a proposed restaurant.
Correct. And again,
Okay.
there's a specific process laid out in that TIF plan associated with the project. So again, the applicant's working through that to bring
And so
that
that's a
forward.
separate path. They're working through that. Does that look favorable, or is there active discussions going on that says it's okay to not have that restaurant?
The TIF contract includes a provision that the mayor, the city administrator, and the mayor pro tem approve relocation of an existing business within Blue Springs into the TIF. So that's the process that Scott is referencing. If this project were to move into the TIF, the base would be maintained and would go to the city. Anything, the increment above that would go to the TIF. They're not eligible for any of the TIF benefit. They also pay into the CID and are not eligible for the benefit of the CID either.
The TIF applicant, though, they're fine with this?
Yes, the I-70 Partners is the overall developer of Oaks at Woods Chapel, and they're the ones who are, again, they've signed off on the applications thus far, moving into.
So most of it is just with the mayor pro tem and the city administrator making that decision then?
Correct.
Okay.
Anybody else? Seeing none, that concludes your presentation.
Thank
So
you.
we will go to the public. Now the developer is here, right?
Yes.
Would you like to come up and make comments that haven't already been made?
Raise your hand, please. You solemnly swear that testimony about to give this case, you give the truth, so help
I do.
you. Give your name and address.
Andrew Smith, 5725 Foxridge Drive, Mission, Kansas. My name is Andrew. I'm with Quick Trip. I'm the real estate project manager on this. I'm also the project manager on the 40 and 7 site. So we've got a lot going on in Blue Springs right now. And we really take a lot of pride in reinvesting in our existing sites and continue to grow, and really exciting times for Quick Trip, and we like giving back to our communities. I'm just going to give a brief overview of the project here. Pretty much nailed what we're going to do here. We are looking to relocate from the east side of Woods Chapel northwest to the southwest corner of South Outer and Woods Chapel. This is a Generation 3 model store, which is the same as what we're proposing over on 40 and 7. Expanded food offer, expanded drink offer, side entrances. Overall, just a much more accommodating for our customers and employees. bigger store, bigger kitchen. That also gives us the potential to really grow our sales, which means that we can have more employees working on each shift. So that's always something we like to do, is give back to our employees in that way. We're looking at 20 fueling positions. The staff report says 24. We were extra conservative in our traffic study. We accounted for more fueling positions. That way, if we do expand in the future, we've got that covered, and we just wanted to be extra safe with that. Traffic study did support the access as proposed. Really no concerns there. We are buying a small sliver of the middle lot as in addition to the north lot. This was really partially an access issue, and also gave us the ability to grade out our site properly. If we don't grade it out, we have to go to a flat entry building, which does not have the transparency requirements for Blue Springs, so our building wouldn't meet code if we didn't do that. Additionally, if we grade it out better, we can eliminate retaining walls and whatever else, which will make the parcel to the south more developable. It is still within the city requirements for lot width between the 75 and 200 feet, so it does still meet the ordinance. So it really shouldn't have any negative effect. It should just be a positive effect on both. With that, I'd like to open up for any questions. I know that we had a question about the existing store. To answer that, we are in negotiations with the existing owner. We rent it out from a landlord. Ideally, we would buy it back and deed restrict it. We're still in those negotiations, though, so it'll be an ongoing process from here. If there's any other questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Councilman Levacy?
Just for clarification, because I attended the Planning Commission meeting, if I remember correctly, the right-in, right-out off of Woods Chapel will actually eventually intended to be a dual access to whoever takes Lot 2. Is that right? That's why it's kind of a little wider there?
Correct, yes.
I think the engineer maybe equated to similar what's over on Chipotle with the gas station. You can go in and then go either direction.
Yeah, I think what we're looking at for now is that in between the canopy and the store, you'd have a connection to the southern lot there. That would give plenty of room for stacking.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in support of? In support of? In opposition to? Opposition to? Close this public hearing. Now I do need an introduction of Bill number 4429.
Your Honor, if I may, before we get the introduction,
Yes.
I would like to state that I will probably abstain on this project, mainly because my company does business with Quick Trip.
Okay. All right. So noted.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
All right.
First reading of Bill Number 4429, an ordinance approving the Oaks at Woods Chapel amended planned use development concept plan.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Second reading. Oops.
Yes.
Abstain.
Okay.
Abstain. Okay.
Second reading of Bill Number 4429, an ordinance approving the Oaks at Woods Chapel amended planned use development concept plan.
Move the bill be approved on its second reading and assign the appropriate ordinance number.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Fowler? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Fowler. Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Abstention.
Councilman Culpepper? Aye. Councilman Quibell?
Aye.
Councilman Levacy?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously with one abstention. Given ordinance number 4602.
All right. That brings us to mayoral announcements. Tonight, my thoughts to ponder comes from a point of personal privilege. We're living in a perilous times and perilous men. The definition can be found in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. I hear so many people are sick and tired of the killings in this world, and especially the most recent ones in Dallas, Texas, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The killing of 5 police officers and the wounded of 7 in Dallas, and the 3 killed in Baton Rouge, and the wounding of 3, with 1 on life support. It's extremely troublesome for me because the deranged individuals were former military, killing paramilitary and law enforcement, of which at least 1 was a former military person. They are our brothers and not our enemy. Yes, I'm angry. Let us not forget the cowardly act in Nice, France by a terrorist that killed 84 and injured over 200, including children. I noticed something popped up on my iPad before coming here tonight, that a man injured 15 to 20 people with a knife and an axe on a German train. And I could go on and on because this is something that I feel very strongly about on this subject matter, but I'll stop and just say that it must stop. It must stop now. End of my comments. Do we have any visitors' appearance forms? Seeing none. I will go to our city attorney for a motion to so move.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, a proper motion would be to move that the council go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.021, subparagraphs 1, 2, and 12, revised statutes of Missouri, for the purpose of privileged communications between a governmental body or its representatives and legal counsel, including litigation, contract negotiations, and sale or lease of real estate, and that any minutes, documents, and other records discussed or taken during the closed session remain closed, and that this body stand adjourned at the completion of such session.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Quavel?
Aye.
Councilman Levesey?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Okay, so I guess we'll be dismissed to our executive conference room. Did you?